So what is fungus overgrowth, right? This is a crazy little microscopic bacteria that starts in your gut, and everybody has it. So why would it end up being bad, right? It's already in every human being. It should be natural. And to some degree it is. Fungus overgrowth is meant for decomposition when you die. Doesn't sound very good, but everything in your body has a purpose, and this particular bacteria morphs into a yeast in order to deteriorate your body after death. It's also something you definitely don't want activated when you're alive, right? Because it's got one job and it's going to do it whether you're alive or dead. There lies the problem. That little microscopic bacteria feeds on dead matter, right? That's why it's feeding on you after death. How do we create dead matter while we're alive, you might ask? Well, that comes about by overuse of medications, whether that be as a child when you're receiving all your vaccine shots, or you're receiving medications in the womb through your mom. That's one way. Or it can be ongoing circumstances. If you go get a Z-Pack for the flu, you have asthma, allergies, any other various health issues that arise, you're on medications for. Also, if you get bit by a tick, that's another scenario where you might end up on some medications. Poison ivy, you may end up on steroids, right? There's a whole plethora of things where when you go to the doctor and they immediately say, ooh, this is the title of what you have, and here's the medication that you take. The downfall is most medications are killing off good and bad bacteria, which in and of itself is not a good thing for your body because it's compromising your good gut bacteria, which you need to help your immune function be at top level, right? Secondly, you're creating dead matter, and that's where we kick in and activate fungus overgrowth. Fungus then starts to do its job, and the first place it's going to do it is in your gut because that's where it's located. So it's going to start attacking your good gut bacteria. It creates incredible amounts of inflammation starting with your intestinal tract, which is a really, really important part of your body, right? We need your bowel movements to keep going on, right? We don't want to collect any toxicity into our intestines, and that fungus overgrowth stops motion, and it creates lots of inflammation and damage to your intestinal tract. It actually can make its way throughout your entire body, and most of the time it does. And it's why it will trigger different health issues in different people. I'll get to that in a second. Back to the intestinal part of it. Once it creates inflammation and starts gnawing away, if you will, at the lining of your intestines, it can actually perforate the intestines itself and allow toxins to release into your bloodstream. This is called leaky gut syndrome, and it leads to autoimmune disease because once those toxins are in your in your bloodstream, the immune system is going to go attack. We have something foreign in our system, and really it's attacking you, and it leads to that autoimmune. And there are over 100 autoimmune diseases out there. Even something like eczema and rosacea actually falls under the category of autoimmune disease. So let's kind of get to what that all means in terms of all these different diseases. Autoimmune, obviously, I just mentioned, it can be anything from thyroidism and rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia, to name some really popular ones, all the way down to that rosacea and eczema, which just might appear to you as a standard skin problem that just needs some sort of cream, right? Well, really, there's a root underlying cause to all of that going on. Plantar fasciitis, restless leg syndrome, even diseases such as PCOS, endometriosis, all of your intestinal diseases, diverticulitis, colitis, Crohn's, IBS, and other things like asthma, allergies, migraine headaches, loss of energy, and what's the word I'm looking for? This is so ironic because brain fog is the word I was looking for. And how ironic is that? And brain fog. So there's a lot of different things that can get deteriorated because of the entrance of toxicity, specifically this fungus overgrowth. Now, here's the really, really bad thing. Once it morphs into a yeast, it makes you crave sugars and carbs that turn to sugars because that's what it's feeding off of. So in terms of weight loss and even continuous growth of the fungus that's going to further impact your body, you're really fighting an uphill battle because you actually have something inside of you that is making you crave bad things. So this is why when I wrote the little paragraph above this video, I noted that it's not just habits. And in the beginning, it starts as habits, but in the end, you can try to have the best habits in the world. And when you have something actually making you crave sugar, that can be a really big problem. Once people end up under some sort of health ailment, they'll go to the doctor, and guess what the doctor's going to give them? Medication. Medication goes into the body, further degrades good and bad bacteria, creates more dead matter, feeds the fungus. The fungus grows even more out of control, damages more of the body, which usually leads to another health symptom. We go back to the doctor gives us a medication. Do you see how this cycle can just be outrageous? And that is exactly what is going on for many, many, many people in our society today, and that they want to know what's wrong. They try to adapt by eating healthier habits and so forth, but ultimately this largely unknown issue internally is what's making that an uphill battle and really quite impossible for most people. So stay tuned for later today, and I will drop you your solution to this problem.